Hello everyone, in this video we'll see how you can use the SDK Magic Tool to prepare and export the resources from Excel to Primavera. This will be the video number 30 in this group of videos, and we will use SQLite database in this video. You can also use Oracle database or SQL server when you select any of them. From the main menu, let us select dictionary, and from the import menu search for the resources. And let us import the resources in this current database. As you see, we have no resources in this database, but we have now the table format that we should fill in to export these resources from Excel to Primavera. You can fill in the columns that you need according to your projects, and the other columns or the missing data will be filled in by the SDK Magic Tool with the default values. Let us go to Primavera to check these results. Let us open the resources in this database, the same database. As you see, for the filter all resources, we have no resources in this database. Let us prepare some of these resources and export them to Primavera to learn how you can use the SDK Magic Tool. In order to save time, we have prepared these resources. At least you will need the resource name and the resource ID. For the resource name, it will be in a column like this, and for the resource ID, you have two methods to draw the diagram of the resource ID. You can draw this diagram in a hierarchy order like this, and you can also use this drop list. You can make your resource IDs in a list like this. These two methods, the hierarchy order or in a list, is accepted by the SDK Magic Tool. Let us, in our example, use this hierarchy order, and we will copy these resources and fill our table. Let us go the table format under the resource name. This will be the resources, and for the hierarchy order, as we know from the previous videos, any diagram will start at the third row and after the end of the table. This will be the hierarchy of the resource IDs. All of these data can be filled by the SDK Magic Tool with the default values. For example, and you will find drop lists to help you when you fill in these columns. For example, for the resource type, if all of your resources labor, this is the default value in SDK Magic Tool, and you will have the other types. This for labor. Let us fill in all resources as labor, but the last one will be material. As you see, we will change this last one to material. And for the resource calendar, you will find all calendars in the database as a drop list, as you see. If you will leave this column blank, the SDK Magic Tool will use the default calendar of the database and assign it to all of these resources. Let us select this calendar, for example, and we will use this calendar for all resources. Now we are ready to export all of these resources to Primavera. From this option, let us search for resources and export these resources to Primavera. As you see, it's very fast and very accurate to export the resource from Excel to Primavera. Now we have all of these resources in Primavera. Let us import these resources from this option. As you see, we have now all of these resources in the database, and these numbers have been set by the SDK Magic Tool in the database for all of these resources, and the missing data have been filled in by the SDK Magic Tool, and this is the same hierarchy that we have drawn to export it to Primavera. Let us go to Primavera to check these results. First, refresh data to get these updates. As you see, we have now all of these resources in Primavera in the same hierarchy that we have drawn in Excel, and all of these resources labor, but the last one, as you see, the last one material, and you can later fill in all of the missing data about your resources. You can later add any resources to this hierarchy and export them to Primavera. For example, let us add some of these resources for the material. For example, type 1, in order to learn how you can use the SDK Magic Tool, and we will add these 10 resources from type 1 to 10, and we will use the same calendar with these resources, and the resource name will be the same. This will be the resource name. This all we need to export these additional resources to Primavera. Let us export these updates to Primavera from this option. Now we have these additional resources in Primavera. Let us import the updates from this option. As you see, we have now these 10 resources in Primavera from type 1 to type 10, and in the same hierarchy. Let us go to Primavera to check these updates. Okay, let us first refresh data. As you see, we have now these 10 resources under material in the same order. You can also remove any of these resources by using the SDK Magic Tool. For example, let us remove all of these resources but the first one. As you see, when we change this N to Y, the SDK Magic Tool will remove or delete these resources with Y. Okay, let us export these updates to Primavera. Set resources. Now we have these updates in Primavera. Let us import the current resources from this option. As you see, we have now only one resource and all of the other resources have been deleted. Let us go to Primavera and refresh data. As you see, we have now only one resource in Primavera. This only to see how much it's flexible and very accurate and also very fast when you use the SDK Magic Tool to update the resources from Excel to Primavera. Thank you and goodbye.